Brothers and sisters, rise in prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, so Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone seek for Thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom Thou wilt bestow Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness that none deserve to be served, worship, or praised besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters who sent us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. We have Sister Zakiya Karim. We have Brother Muta Kabir Ali from New Jersey. We have Brother Ibrahim Muhammad from Tampa, Florida. And we have the Rafiq family. And I'd like to say, in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we want to talk about March 21st, 1969, Muhammad speaks, and it says, black and white worlds near a showdown. But first, brothers and sisters, we want to start with the Theology of Time, August the 20th, 1972. Because we always want to make a difference between the New School Nation of Islam and the Nation of Islam under the Messenger. And the big difference between the New School Nation of Islam and the Nation of Islam under the Messenger is that the New School Nation of Islam tried to put Master Farad Muhammad on the back burner and tried to, you know what I'm saying, cancel him out. So we want to establish, this is the Messenger talking about how we make our will be done. This is the Messenger. The Messenger says, and this is the Theology of Time, August 20th, 1972. The Messenger says, when we say Allah, many times we are referring to the Supreme One among us, Allah. His name is Allah, the Supreme Being. We call Him Supreme because no other being is His equal. Now that's the first thing that separates this new school stuff from the Messenger. Because how we try to put Master Farad Muhammad on the back burner is we always like to say, whenever the Messenger don't say Master Farad Muhammad's name, he just say Allah. We'll say that mean the black nation. But that mean all of us. You know, to try to put Master Farad Muhammad on the back burner. You know, if the Messenger don't say directly Master Farad Muhammad, oh, that just mean the black nation. No. The Messenger said, when we say Allah, many times we are referring to the Supreme One among us all. Allah. His name is Allah. His name is Allah. Your name ain't Allah. Our name, when the Messenger was alive, you referred to a brother as brother. You didn't refer to him as God like we do today. You didn't refer to him as Allah. He said that we supposed to refer to each other as brother. Brother minister, brother captain, brother secretary. But in today's Nation of Islam, we don't do that. It's the God stuff. Because what we do in this God stuff is we want to show how rebellious we are. Because we don't want to do it like how the Messenger do, because the black man is God. So now we interpret that to mean I can do what I want to do. If I want to interpret this another way, I can interpret how I want to interpret. So when I put Savior's Day, and I take the apostrophe and put the S apostrophe, I can say we all saviors. The Messenger said we self-saviors, to take the Master Farad Muhammad out. We can say, I think that the Messenger is the Savior, to take Master Farad Muhammad out. When the Messenger don't say Master Farad Muhammad's name and he say Allah, that mean the black nation, to take Master Farad Muhammad out. That's how we do in the New School Nation of Islam. But the Messenger didn't do that. He goes on to say, he says, let thy will be done. Will. He said, he just wills a thing and it comes to pass. He says, he has conferred this upon the righteous. That is if. It's always a if with us. It ain't just because the black man is God. It's always that if. But we don't want to talk about that if in this new school stuff. It's just we God. We do what we want to do. But the messenger said for us to cause our will to be done, he said, if you love Allah, obey Allah and his messengers, prophets, and do the will of him who was sent to teach you, you also could will a thing and it will come to pass. But don't will a thing and then be suspicious of whether it will come to pass or not. You then are disbelieving in your own prayer to God and disbelieving in the God to whom you are directing your prayer to. This the messenger. He said that when you say a prayer, because this is how we will the thing. We don't just will the thing because the black man is God. It don't just happen like that. It's an if. So he said if you will a thing and you doubting it, he said not only are you doubting the prayer to God, but you doubting the God that you directing your prayer to. So prayer is also included in our will. We don't just do stuff because the black man is God. So he goes on to say, whatever you ask him in prayer, believe that he heard it, and it will come to pass. He said, believe that he heard it. Now, however he hear everybody's prayer, I don't know. I don't know how he do that. But the messenger said, you got to believe that he heard it. Not the black nation, not yourself. He said, you got to believe he heard it. Then he goes on to say, because not only did he tell us to do this, he gave us an example of himself. He didn't just, because everything that the messenger taught us, he was an example of that. He didn't, all praise is due to Allah. The messenger didn't just tell us a thing and just leave it up to us to figure out what we think he meant. He gave us an example of what he's talking about. And this is his example. He said, I asked Allah something of which you may not know. I say, my wife is in a condition with a disease. She had a cancer, and it had been with her ever since he came to us. He told my wife in my presence, sister, you have a sick stomach. This sick stomach traveled with my wife up until the day she died. She knew these things and I knew them. I did not want to tell our sons and daughters of the condition which their mother and my wife was in, or they may have grieved themselves. I've known it for over 30 years, but I kept it to myself. I knew what was wrong. God had told her and she knew it, but there was no cure for it in the way that you were taught. So the messenger telling us something personal. He telling us something that he didn't even tell his kids at first. He said he kept it to himself for 30 years. So this was an issue. The messenger had something that he kept a secret from everybody, that he didn't even tell his kids. But now he's telling us. So he said, I asked Allah to bless my wife to come home and die. I said, don't let her die out there in the hospital of the devil, lest he laugh and say, the prophet brought her to us to heal. Why did not he go to Master Farad Muhammad if he thought that he was God to get her healed? So he's telling us, he didn't want the devil to laugh at him, because the messenger taught us that Master Farad Muhammad is our God. So he's saying if he didn't want the devils to make mock of the God, saying, why you ain't take it to him? You think he God, why you can't go to him? This is what the messenger said. He didn't say he was taking it to himself. He didn't say taking it to the black nation. He said Master Farad Muhammad. And this is what we try to cancel out. We don't want to talk about Master Farad Muhammad like that. We talk about Master Farad Muhammad the least as we can to try to overexalt ourselves. Like you doing it yourself. No, this ain't what the message. And he's explaining to us something personal that he had, that he didn't tell nobody, not even his kids. So he said, why did not he go to Master Farad Muhammad if he thought that he was God to get her healed. So I asked Allah, knowing Allah in person, to take her away from the hospital and let me bring her home to die. I said, because the devil is bound to laugh at you and me. I kept asking him for 3 or 4 times. So he's saying he didn't just go to him one time. So this showing the power of Master Farad Muhammad and how the messenger respected his power. He didn't say, I just asked him. He said he went to him 3 or 4 times. All praise is due to Allah. Just to God. He didn't say, now he taught us that he is as close to Master Farad Muhammad as his jugular vein. He said that. He said he whispers in my ear when he pleases. But the messenger said that when he had a problem, he took it to Allah. Was he talking about the black nation? Was he talking about himself? He talking about Master Farad Muhammad. He said he took it to Allah. He didn't just take it to him one time. He said he took it to him 3 or 4 times. Then he goes on to say, I told the doctors that I would rather see her die at home. So they admitted that I was right and that they would find some way to get her out to my house. I said, yes, she'll come out. I'll let her die right here at this house. I said because I don't want to be laughed at by the devil, and I don't want the devil to try to make mock of the power of our God, Master Farad Muhammad, our God, because we got a God. And the messenger taught us to call on our God. That's what he said. But let's go further than that. Because the messenger gave us example after example. Because in this new school stuff, we try to cancel out Master Farad Muhammad. Because what we got to realize is that this is a government. And every government got a chain of command. It ain't all of this freestyling. Like I just make it up as I go. And however I want to. The messenger taught us how our government is structured. Master Farad Muhammad at the top. He the God of the black nation. That's just the bottom line. He at the top of the chain of command. The messenger taught us that. We can't disrespect the chain of command. Because this new school stuff where we try to take Master Farad Muhammad out of the black nation. We try to make him seem like he's something different. When we talking about the black nation, he the God of the black nation. And the thing that I love to talk about is my military experience. Because in the military, I saw the best of the best. We all know about the Navy SEALs. When I was in the Navy, we was around Navy SEALs. One of my instructors was a Navy SEAL. We used to do drills with the Navy SEALs. We talk about the Marine Corps. I used to do deployments with the Marine Corps. So I saw the best of the best. But I never saw in the white man's military people disrespect their superiors. I never saw that. Like how we do. We disrespect our superiors. We disrespect Master Farad Muhammad and we disrespect the messenger. With all this new school stuff, how we interpret. We got superiors. We building a government. Every government got a chain of command. Master Farad Muhammad at the top. I'll share another story that I shared before. And it was one time when I had a supervisor or a department head who was a female. And our supervisor was under her. Now, he didn't like her. We didn't find out that he didn't like her till after he was transferred. Because he didn't never tell us that. So, when we used to be under her and she would give us orders, we would get an attitude. Because sometimes she would be tripping. Sometimes we just ain't like what she used to tell us. He used to always get on our case. Like, you hear what she said, do what she tell you to do. Every time she would tell him to do something. Yes, ma'am. Give her a salute every time. So when he was transferring, it was probably about maybe a few days to a week and he was transferring. I don't know how we got on this subject, but he told us he hated her. He said he didn't even believe that women should be in the military. When he told us that, I couldn't believe that. Because seeing how he took orders from her, seeing how he showed respect to her, seeing how he even made us respect her, I could not believe that he didn't even like her. He didn't even believe that women should be in the military. But when in the military, you learn chain of command. She was over him. The devils thought that women should be in the military, And they put her over him. So it didn't make a difference what he thought. It didn't make a difference what he believed, what he understood, none of that. She was superior, so he respected her. He respected her authority. That's chain of command. It's a chain of command in the Nation of Islam. It ain't just this free-for-all stuff where we try to X out Master Farad Muhammad and exalt ourselves. It don't go like that because the messenger didn't teach us that way. We could go even further to the January 3rd, 1964, Muhammad speaks. Because the messenger said what he said over and over and over again. The messenger says, prayer is universal. It is a showing of one's submission and recognition to a superior. This is the message. He said, when it comes to God, the act or saying of prayers to a God other than himself. So we can kill all of that praying to yourself stuff. The messenger says, when it comes to a God, the act or saying of prayer to a God other than himself is to show not only submission. It's the first thing he said to show. Submission and recognition, confession, supplication, thanksgiving, the seeking of help, guidance, and forgiveness of wrongs. The secrets of our hearts are poured out in prayer to his or her God. All praise is due to Allah. That's what prayer means. So all this other stuff that these Muslims try to say prayer is not. You can understand the thing the way you want to. And we need to get straight the difference between what you understand and what the messenger taught. It's two different things. I can understand something that you ain't trying to say. I can be like, oh, I thought you meant something else. So we can't think just because we understand something a certain way, that's right. But we can't stop you from understanding what you want to understand. But we can't change what the messenger said direct based on what a person understands. That's two different things. Because the messenger told us directly about praying to the God. He said it several times. He said it in the prayer service. He said it in the message to the black man. And he taught us his own personal problem and who he took it to. He said that God comes to make himself known. Because he said we used to pray to Jesus. We all used to pray to Jesus because we thought Jesus was God. But the messenger said God came and made himself known. So we know who God is now. We know his name. We know when he was born. We know the greatest of them all. And he said when you have a problem, take it to Allah. So, in the new school Nation of Islam, let's look at that. We know who God is now. We used to believe Jesus was God. And we used to pray to Jesus. Nobody argued with the white man about whether or not we prayed to Jesus. We believed Jesus was God, we prayed to him. Now God came and he made himself known. He didn't send somebody else. He came himself and made himself known. Not only did he make himself known, he told us his name. The messenger taught us about the name Farad. He told us that he's self-independent. He told us that he's the greatest of them all. Them all. So how we have become with these teachings, with this self-exaltation. We know who the God is, but we'll rather teach and say we praying to ourselves or we praying to the black nation. When God came and made himself known to us. That he's the best knower. That he's the greatest of them all. That he has power over all things. No, I ain't with that new school stuff. You can understand it how you want to understand it. But that ain't what the messenger said. You can't show me where he said that. And we're not going to take Master Farad Muhammad and put him in the corner for this I'm praying to myself stuff. All praise is due to Allah. We ain't doing that. It's a chain of command in the Nation of Islam. It's a chain of command under our flag just like it's a chain of command under the white man's flag. And you respect your superiors. Superiors have certain respects and regards that they get, that you got to give a superior. You don't disregard a superior when you in the military. I don't know about church, but when you in the military, you give respect to your superiors. You salute an officer. And the respect that the officer get, you don't drop your salute until he drop his. That's just how it go. That's the respect the officer get. If you drop your salute before an officer drop his salute, that's disrespect. That's just how it goes. Because you respect superiors. You come to attention when the superior come in the room. When the superior come in the room, they say attention on deck and everybody get up. Because you respect the superior. And I'm telling you, this new school stuff, we don't respect superiors. We'll just change the teachers when we get ready to change. No, that ain't how it go. And we can go even further than that. In the message to the black man, on page 142, the messenger said, we are reminded that this prayer is made obligatory. He said, it is also binding upon the believers, Muslims, in Allah, God, to obey him. For in that 1,000 years of millennium, the disbelievers will cease to be. And that those who live in that time, it shall be binding upon them to serve and obey one God. One God. Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi or Allah in person. Then he goes on to say, he says, all praise is due to Allah, or all praise is due to our Lord and Savior, Master Farad Muhammad. To him do we submit, him we fly for refuge from the evils of Yaqub's world, or Yaqub's civilization. What does refuge mean? Because he's telling us who we fly to refuge from the evils of Yaqub's civilization. He's telling us direct, he's saying his name. Master Farad Muhammad is the one who we fly to for refuge. What does refuge mean? It says refuge, a condition of being safe or sheltered from pursuit, danger, or trouble. That's what refuge means. Messenger ain't say walk to refuge to Master Farad Muhammad. He ain't say run. He said fly. This is what he always, even after his articles, he would say fly to Allah. But we want to cancel Master Farad Muhammad. I'll say, oh, that mean the black nation. No. No, he said Master Farad Muhammad's name all the time. Not only do he say his name, he gave us an example of his own personal self. And he didn't say that he just said it one time. He said it 3 or 4 times to the God, Master Farad Muhammad. He wasn't talking about no black nation. He wasn't talking about himself. Now, if that's how Muslims want to understand it, that's you. But we're not going to put Master Farad Muhammad on some back burner because this is what you understand, because the messenger didn't say that. Just like he didn't say he was the Savior. He didn't say with Savior's Day we supposed to put the S apostrophe and be talking about we self-saviors. He didn't say all that. But people can understand it like that, and that's up to you. But we're not changing what he said and taught us direct for something that you understand. Then we can go even further than that. Our last example. The messenger said, we cannot improve upon the nature in which Allah God has created all beautiful things, yet we try. We cannot substitute the original beauty with artificial creations, yet we try. So let us realize the power of Allah, that without him we cannot exist, and make obeisance to Allah through our prayers to him. Now, what does obeisance mean? Obeisance means a movement of the body made in token of respect or submission. It says acknowledgement of another's superiority or importance. So the messenger says we are supposed to make our obeisance to Allah through our prayers, because we realizing without him we can't exist. This is what he said. All this other stuff about to put Master Farad Muhammad on the back burner stuff, no, he didn't say that. He said through our prayers is how we make obeisance to Allah, how we show him respect. That's how it is in this government. That's how it is in our nation. Because the messenger, when we read in the January 3rd, 1964 Muhammad speaks, he said prayer is universal. Then he taught us in the message to the black man that prayer did not just start with Prophet Muhammad. He said we always pray. That's how he explained prayer. But in the new school nation of Islam, because we don't want to talk about Master Farad Muhammad. And he the one who brought us this knowledge. But we show him the most disrespect. Then we disrespect the messenger by trying to put the messenger in Master Farad Muhammad's spot. Then we show disrespect to the messenger and Master Farad Muhammad by trying to put ourselves in the messenger spot. Like, no, we ain't going for that. It's a chain of command. And I don't want to talk about the white man's military like the white man's military is better than being the FOI. But what I can say is that when I learned honor, courage, and commitment in the white man's military, I respect the fact that I never saw them disrespect their superiors. I never saw all this jumping the chain of command. I never saw all of this stuff. So all this new school stuff, when you see brothers just changing what they want to change, saying what they want to say, doing what they want to do, I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. I can't relate to how a sister don't wear her headpiece and just do what she want to do. I can't relate to brothers just don't want to shave. And then you make it right. You make it seem like it's okay to do that. No. Brothers supposed to shave. Short haircuts. Faces shaved. That's how being an FOI mean. But we want to change the teachings with this the black man is God stuff. And then we sit around and watch brothers do it. These sisters who don't wear their headpiece, they can come to the temple and don't wear their headpiece. I don't know no honor, courage, and commitment like that. When I was in the white man's military, if that devil told you to wear your headpiece, you was wearing your headpiece. If that devil told you to shave, you was shaving. That's how it was. It wasn't all this new school stuff where you jump in the chain and you can just tell a brother anything and that's cool. No, we ain't doing that. So we want to go to, as we wrap it up, we want to go to the black and white worlds near a showdown. Because the messenger explains to us what the black and white world is. He explained to us who is the God of both worlds. And he explained to us who is the guardian over the world. Let's look at what the messenger says. The messenger says, and this starts on page 20. The messenger says, the black nation is under the guidance and guardianship of our God, the great Mahdi. Let's stop right there. He said the black nation is under the guardianship of who? Master Farad Muhammad. The whole black nation. All praise due to Allah. So all this stuff when we want to take Allah, say talking about that mean the black nation? No. The messenger said that Master Farad Muhammad is the guardian of the black nation. He says he is the restorer, the defender of the black nation. He will restore and defend us. It's the message. The messenger goes on to say, he says the great Mahdi has and exercises power over everything of the creation that carries and brings forth power. This is Master Farad Muhammad. Let's read that again. He says the great Mahdi has and exercises. Not saying that he has the power and he don't exercise. He has the power and he exercises it over everything of the creation that carries or brings power. That's Master Farad Muhammad. So how is it that the messenger can say that Master Farad Muhammad got all this power, but we put him on the back burner? How's that? How is he the wisest of them all, but we talk about him the least? How? How does he have power over all things and there is no God next to him, but we talk about him the least? Or we give him the least credit? When you listen to these brothers talk about their leader, they give their leader more props than when you hear them talking about Master Farad Muhammad. Go listen to one of these camps talk about their leader. You can listen to them on YouTube. They'll talk about their leader for 20 minutes. Then when the Master Farad Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam, or, you know, the messenger's teacher, you know, he came to make us gods. He came to make us a nation of gods, and he just left so we can just do it ourselves. No. He exercises power over everything that carries or brings forth power. He the God. He's at the top of the chain of command. And when you in the military and you see those who have authority, you giving them their respect. I never saw. Well, I remember when admirals used to come to the ship. Weeks before they would get there, we would already know the pathway they was going through. We would know what departments they was going to visit and all that. So before they would get there, you ever heard of spit shine in the floor? That's a military term, spit shine. We used to spit shine the floor. to where you can eat off the floor, the same path that he was going to. And when the admiral came into your department, the first person that saw him hollered out, "Attention on deck." Everybody in there got up. Not just some people, everybody got up. And if he came around you and he said something that was supposed to be funny, because a lot of times they say stuff that ain't funny. But if he said something that was supposed to be funny and you act like you ain't want to laugh, or you act like you ain't want to smile, or you too tough, he didn't have to say nothing to you. One of them other people who saw you doing that was going to put you in check. He ain't have to say nothing to you. He'll act like he ain't even see you. But I bet you your superior saw you, and I bet you as soon as he left, you will never do that again. That was superiors. And that's how you show respect to superiors. And that's the same respect Master Farad Muhammad get in the Nation of Islam. Well, brothers, I don't want to prolong the time. So I'll leave you as I came in the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. And we would like to bring up our minister, Brother Minister Levi Karim. Let's give him a hand.
Brother Minister Khalil Shabazz on the hand. Praise be to Allah. Yes. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, first of all, Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. You don't want to get that. I can keep you getting it. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the true living God, we forever thank him. Read upon our midst of the divine leader, teaching guide, the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Almighty God, Allah, ever be upon him. Truly grateful on his coming and giving you and I the last and greatest messenger of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be a witness bearer in this day and time, bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was the last and greatest messenger. I just want to continue this subject about when the messenger was talking about the calamity. And it's very important for the Muslims to pay attention. Not only the Muslims, but the Christian world, our lost found brothers and sisters, pay attention. But we know most of them is without the knowledge of themselves, their God, their religion, their culture, is without the knowledge of themselves. So they wouldn't understand, most of them. But you have some of them, when things happen, that they say, man, this God is, they know, they got this thing within themselves that they believe in a higher supreme. It's in themselves. And we knew before we accepted we claimed our own, we always have had, we was brought up that there's a God. You know, we have brought up that, but we believe in the mystery God, but we did believe within ourselves that there was somebody higher than we were. But in the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, it's like he was a messenger, and he foretold things. He prophets, you know, told us things, taught us what would come and what have came and what would come. And the calamity, he had taught us what Allah would use to destroy the devil and the wicked world of the white race. And he said that in the calamity, he wrote about it, prophesied what the things that Allah would use, some of the things that Allah would use to destroy the devil. And as Muslims, like I said before, we must pay attention to what's going on and consider the times. And in the calamity, what he wrote in Muhammad's speech, he said there are great storms and adverse weather conditions. There are minor tremors, minor earth tremors, and hailstorms. He also said, go down here, these are the days of the fulfillment of prophecy, of not one, but of many calamities. But in all of these preparations of the destruction of human life by the devil, Allah God too has plans to save his people. Now, he raised a messenger from among you and I to teach and guide us, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we can go on and see the prophecy of the Bible also, when it says in Malachi 5:6. Go back and just see what's happening today. Because I know today we get so busy. We don't seem to take time to watch and look around and see what's coming. You know, when you're at the corner of a red light at a traffic signal, it's there for a reason. The messenger was raised from among you and I to teach and guide us for a reason. He was something like a traffic light. He stop us, he tell us the light, red, stop, green, go, yellow, be cautious. Other words, be mindful of your surroundings. So if the amber light is yellow, you know it's something coming, you have to be careful. It tells you that. But at the railroad track, it says stop. Stop, period. Whether the train coming or not, stop. Some of them just go right on through because they don't see the train. See? But not literally train. It can be some other thing. It can be anything might happen. But those are signs. And the message was a sign. He was a sign. He was a sign. So we have to pay attention to the sign. And it says, like in the Bible, Malachi 5:6, it said, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, and he will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Okay, let's take this here. Let's see what dreadful. Let's say just dreadful. The dreadful day of the Lord. Now, day, let's don't get this confused. Day don't mean just 23 and 1/4 hour a day. 24-hour day, years. 364, 63 and 1/4. We say 365 days a year. I just put it like that. So it means it takes years, not one 24-hour day. When the Bible say day, the day of the Lord, that don't mean just one day. That means years. All this is years. It builds up years. It takes years, the messenger say, to overthrow, just to bring Allah's work in. It takes time. So let's see what it means. What it say? Hey, what's it say about dreadful? Causing fear. Shocking, horrible. We see what's happening here. Smite. You strike hard. Devastating. A curse. This is the fall of America and the curse of America. A cause of great evil, condemned to eternal punishment. Now, he was condemned when he was first made. Yaqub made him. He was condemned for the fire already. He was born to be destroyed already from the get-up. So we see that's when all this problems that Allah is causing this devil, all this confusion in the heads of states, we have to consider that. Most of us probably don't even pay the mind because we're too busy running to and fro. And we get like that sometimes. We neglect. Sometimes we neglect our prayer. Then we have to get back online, get tracks off. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get back here. Let me try to get my prayer. The brother minister has said a good thing about prayer. And we need prayer. We must have prayer to survive. That's the only way Allah is going to protect us, through prayer. So we have to understand that when we see all these things come to pass, know that time is at hand, high at hand. And we see where just in this month alone, the Weather Bureau in this month alone, they done had 38 tornadoes. Did you know that? No. Probably didn't. Not paying attention. It happens. See? 38 tornadoes. They ain't got hot yet.
That's right.
It haven't even got hot yet. 38 of them. What about April, May, June, July, August, all these hot months where you normally will see and hear about tornadoes? But this is in March. It ain't springtime yet. It's supposed to be. 38 tornadoes. If he said 38, it's 68.
That's right.
The devil said 38, it's 68.
That's right.
He ain't never tell you the truth. Truth ain't in it. See? This is what we dealing with. But we had a messenger who was raised up among you that to teach and guide us and gave us the knowledge of time. Because he knew the knowledge of time, because Allah told him and taught him what was to come. Allah taught him that, who came in the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad, true and living God. So we're very fortunate to have had a messenger to teach and guide you and I. It's for those who want it. Islam always has been for those who want it. See? So if you don't want it, it don't want you. It's independent. Allah is independent. He don't need none of us. We dependent on soul, dependent on Allah, who came in the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad. And they so and you can look and see all the devastation. What happened in this little town in Alabama? It's just a little town, like a little hick town, like Flint or Ben Harbor and all that's in Detroit. Little hick towns with the little old towns. They had 23 people killed. You ought to saw the devastation. Houses uprooted. The president talking about trees uprooted. No, that ain't gonna be all uprooted. When Allah get through, he gonna root buildings, all when he get through. And the storm wind was so high, they say it was up to 174 to 175 miles an hour. That's just in that little, see Allah taking that little old hick town, not the whole Alabama, just that little hick town in Alabama. What about the rest of them, just in that little part? 23 people lost their lives. They lost their homes. They were horrified. Devastation set in. They was devastated, horrible, fearful, scared to death. You would too.
That's right.
You'd be scared too. And they know it's Allah.
That's right.
See? He did the same thing to this devil. It take years. But he's whooping him.
That's right.
And he's falling hard. And he's falling fast. So those who ready, I say this, those who not ready, they better get ready. And those who ready, they better stay ready.
That's right. That's right.
That's how it is.
That's right.
You gotta save yourself.
That's right.
And that's not nothing mean or horrible. Brother say self-saved you.
That's right.
You gotta save yourself.
That's right.
Because you are only gonna be accountable for what you do.
That's right.
And what I do. Care about what nobody else do. Allah gonna be the judge of it all.
That's right.
So this is what's going on. So if you're ready, you better stay ready. And if you're not, like I say, you better get ready. Because that's what that song that say, get ready on board. Who was that on board? Down to Georgia or something. Midnight train to Georgia. This is gonna be midnight train to hell.
That's right.
This what's happening. So the messenger taught us. He warned us of this day and time what's going to come. So we can look and see with our own eyes today what's happening. How Allah would confuse the heads of state Look what's happening today. You kill a head, the body die. You ain't got to go far. Just go to Washington. Washington, D.C. The central point. That's where all the knowledge, everything center right there. Oh, I heard it before. Yeah, it rained like this before. That's what the people said in the days of Noah. It rained like this before. But they didn't pay it no mind until the water got up here. And then Allah said, Noah said, Allah got the key. No, I can't let you in. But we know better. Look what's happening in this government. Treason. Just look what's going on. That's something to pay attention to. They done lost all their moral standard, all their values. They lost all of it. Everything is money. The whole people in authority then turn coat against their own government. Taking bribes against their adversaries. Just taking bribes, buying them off, selling out secrets for money. Benedict Arnolds. Then turn coats against their own government for a little money. What the message say? Little money. See? Just like we have here, Uncle Tom, stool pigeon, handkerchief heads. See? Turn against the messenger. Hypocrites. All this. Teaching against the messenger's teachings. This is going on today. Right today. But we have to stay focused. See, because if we don't, we're going to get caught up in the fish's net. The message said many of you be lagging behind with a filth and a doubtful mind. So don't pray for that day. Because you might be one of the laggers. I don't hurry up Allah and get him. No, he might get it. When he get them, you might be right along with him. Or I might be right along with him. Don't pray for that day. Try and get yourself in order. Pray for that. I ain't praying for it. I ain't hurry up and get him. You hurry up and get them, might get me. If he'd hurry up and got us long ago, we wouldn't have been here either. That's right. So hurry up and, well, I'll be glad when Allah chastise the devil when they get him. No, he gonna get him. He know when to get him. You hollering, he might get you. You might go right along with him because you ain't ready either. Try and get ready. This is the thing. The message said that he taught us what Allah was going to use against the devil. He taught us that. And we have people that we have to be told over and over and over again. Because some of us don't like it. But we have to be told over and over and over again. The messenger taught for 44 years that the white man is the devil. He had never changed it. He said he's the devil. He always will be the devil, and don't you ever forget it. Some of them now don't even want you to call him the devil. That's old school. That's right. That's baby Islam. He's the Caucasian. Still a devil. That's right. The Caucasian white man. Yakub's grafted devil. That's right. Skunk of the planet Earth. That's what the messenger said. That's right. Yeah, he's still a Caucasian, but he said a Caucasian devil. That's right. The skunk of the planet Earth. And he called him a skunk because everywhere he go, he leaves a foul odor. That's right. And the foul odor is what? Deceitfulness, all that. Murder, all that. This is what the white man had left his mark. And we see that today with our very eyes. See? So it's not a rosy thing here. This preparations to get ourselves in order. That's what matters. That's the only thing matters. Not only to try to get our people, like the brothers and sisters before us, the trailblazers before us, who dedicated themselves, their lives. Some have given up their lives for you and I to be here today. The trailblazers, the pioneers. We never should forget them. That's right. See? What the devil say? Remember Pearl Harbor. That's right. They don't forget it. Remember the Alamo. Go back before Pearl Harbor. Remember the Alamo. They don't forget it. David Crockett. They don't forget it. See? History. And they go right on with it. Robert E. Lee. They don't forget it. They got monuments of him. The Confederacy. They didn't know what it stood for. Kill that nigga, make a slave out of him. Keep him a slave. The Confederacy. They don't care nothing about black. Just like the Nation of Islam. The followers of the Messiah don't care about white either. We're a nation of people. But been in the hands of an enemy that made us other than our own selves. The white man. But yet today, we still have, and we know that America is falling. And it's the number one on our Lord's list to be destroyed. Allah gonna get America first. And you see that he's whipping him. He's whipping him. Look at the president. Running all around the world trying to get peace. The messenger said that. Can't find peace nowhere. And that's some of the devil, they want peace. They want peace. They sick of it. Y'all saw what this on TV, what this devil, when I had a sign, and this devil manifold, the one that sold his soul for a few nickels. Judas. For his own country. A few bucks. The devil told him, take your flag, traitor. It's another devil telling him that. Hell, you threw a Russian flag up there. Take your flag. You're a traitor. For a little money. See? Let's see what he got to live with. He should get him. And a hypocrite. He was a hypocrite to his own government. And we have hypocrites in our government. See? So the message says, strive hard against the disbelieving hypocrites. Strive hard against them. See? Don't lighten up on them. Don't be soft on them. Look at Benedict Arnold. Good thing. His own government. Traitor. See? So we don't feel sorry for them. And we see what's going on today. We thank Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the true and living God. And we see that these leaders, these head of state, is confused. All of them. They don't know what to do. They hadn't passed no legislation. They don't have time to really pass good legislation because of the confusion and the turmoil that Allah had confused them with. You can't run a government without legislation. You have to have some kind of legislation, some rules of order. Just like Brother Mudders was saying, we have order in the Nation of Islam. Order. The messenger said, I have orders. We all have orders. And the orders are made to be obeyed. So when we follow orders and instructions that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, we have a strong government because it's laid out. The die is set. We don't have to get to make up something. The die is already set. Only thing we have to do is apply ourselves to it. And teach those who don't know, apply themselves to it. So when you walk around with a beard, you shave it. You shave it. When you got an afro, you cut it down. You got a big old mustache, trim it or cut it off. No problem, no legislation already, it's the die set. But we come in, well, I think we should do this. No, do what the die said do. That makes a strong government. We have a strong brotherhood and a strong sisterhood. But we building a nation. And it takes time. Progress. They come and they go. They're like a revolving door. Very few stick. But Allah gonna send somebody. You just keep striving. We just keep pushing. We'll get better. Because Allah gonna see it, gonna make it better for you and I. He do it when he get ready. He's the best knower. He'll trim it out. He'll smooth it out. The road is perfect. He'll smooth it out. It takes a little time, but he'll smooth it out. See? But we got to be patient and be strong and be willing to execute it. Allah's with us. He been with us so far.
That's right.
He been with us so far. He's still with us. So the only thing we got to do is get with him.
That's right.
What the message say. And we be successful, brothers and sisters, and we are successful. You know, we got a little bumps and roll here and there. But that's okay. It's building the nation.
That's right.
Even ourselves. Rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. You done heard that probably 100 times. Just like we don't eat pork. You done heard that 100 times.
That's right. That's right.
It's just which one you like the best.
That's
Or which
right.
one you like to hear the best.
That's right. That's right.
Because a lot of times when things condemn you or me, we don't like to hear it. But when things condemn you or me, and we hear it, it should better us.
That's right.
It should better us. Pressure make diamonds.
That's right.
Pressure make good Muslims.
That's right.
Those who can withstand it. Those who accept it. When we came into the nation of Islam, we were all wrong.
That's right.
We were willing to accept the fact that we was wrong. And when you accept the fact that you was wrong, Allah blesses you. The message says he forgive you for everything that you did when you came in, before you come in. See? And he still forgives you and I for what we do. If he please. If he please. Sometimes he'll string some of us along, we need to be whooped. We need to be whooped. So I'm not going to let you get off like this. I got to spank you a little bit. But when I spank you, you're going to be all right this time. See? These kind of things. So, we're very fortunate, brothers and sisters, to have had a messenger to teach us and guide us. And what we should do when we have time, check the news out. The devil, the messenger, say that he tells you and me what's going on. In my conclusion, we take like, so have you done, so shall it be done unto you and to thee. The master said, Allah just reverses things. This is what's happening. That devil that did all he could and still doing what he can to punish you and I. So what Allah does, he just reverses it. The message says he reverses and put it on you. If you have a thing in it, disbeliever, have something against a believer, whatever in their hearts, Allah will reverse it and put it on you. He's doing the same thing to the devil. Whatever thing in their hearts against the black man, he reverses it and put it on them. For instance, take this opiate thing. Take the opiate thing. The devil always want to put dope in our community. And to the black man, to the black woman, introduce them to dope. Know it's highly addictive. Cocaine. Opium. All that stuff, heroin, all of it, he put it in the black man's hand. He know it's dreadful. Look what happened over the opiate did. These are white boys. These are from these white families. These rich people. They're addicted to it now. You don't see no brother too much with no opiate thing. They ain't talking about no black man. They're talking about white folks. They got hospitals all out there for white people. To the opiate crisis. They got pharmacists set up in the white communities. For the white man. It's all on TV by what they doing about the opiate crisis. But where? What about the brother? When they had that, what you call that stuff? Back in the day. This medicine was more addictive than the heroin. Methadone. Now, they're supposed to help the black man with methadone. Come to find out about it, methadone was more addictive than the heroin. You see that? They stopped taking heroin and got to a higher addictive thing, that methadone. Brother used to go to the clinic and the doctor give you a bottle, you just drink it. Some brothers go put it under their mouth, come out and spit it in a little bottle what they had. That's what they used to do. They used to have methadone clinics everywhere. You don't see it now. You see weed houses.
That's right.
That's what he doing. But Allah reversed it and put it on them young college students. Praise be to Allah, they get it, put it on them young college students. This doctor's son, the pharmacist's son, even the president's daughter got a heroin habit. See? Put it on them. Allah reverses and put it on them. See? So whatever it is, it's in the hands of Allah. And as long as we keep Allah and His messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad out front, we're going to be successful because Allah has the power of all things. Assalamu alaikum. Praise be to Allah.
Sister Rasper. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praises due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master, the day of judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none deserve to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.